School on a screen. That's how many students are learning this fall, but some didn't take part at all in virtual learning at the end of last school year. Now they're behind. All this week, with a team of journalists across the country, we're exploring help for students and their families who've been set back most by the pandemic. Chris Horne shows us how a school district in Virginia is using paced learning to try to get everyone back on the same page.
With all the uncertainty and confusion that surrounded the last couple of months of last school year, teachers will have to be flexible this time around. And while we won't have students all in one cafeteria or even one classroom, they'll be in one Zoom room. But that doesn't mean they'll be in the same place when it comes to progress. For Portsmouth schools, it's a math problem. State numbers show about 62% of students here are economically disadvantaged, and more than 1,500 students had no contact with their teachers at all from March through June. Director of Curriculum Anita Wynn says that's unacceptable.
I think it's alarming because any student that we can't reach means that we haven't succeeded with that individual.
The division will now use a more flexible version of paced learning.
It helps us to compartmentalize and to give the sequential steps for student learning. And with the pandemic, what we realized is that we needed to adjust those pacing guides.
Math education coordinator Fiona Nichols says it's an estimate, not carved in stone, of how coursework should progress with each school week.
It provides an outline where we ensure that everything that needs to get taught gets taught within that time frame.
But it also allows for some latitude so teachers won't get bogged down.
And let's say maybe 4 days are allotted to this topic, and within 2 days kids have it, well, by all means move forward.
Yeah. Teachers will do quick check assessments and work with students in small groups to find the gaps.
Where the missed content fits conceptually, or where it is a prerequisite skill for the next grade level content.
Wynn concedes that launching the initiative on a virtual platform will be the biggest challenge, where there's no in-person feedback.
It's different when you're in a classroom and you can actually see students and you can use proximity and you can use eye contact and you can use gestures.
With the right level of teacher flexibility, Nichols and Wynn agree that the paced learning approach can work in almost any classroom setting. Portsmouth rolled out the idea during summer school.
Each day gives us data.
Teachers will complete surveys every 2 weeks and use several metrics to gauge effectiveness.
With our benchmarks, with our content assessments, with our grade reports, the projects and tasks that students perform, and with the actual interactions with our students, because that's equally as important.
Unlike the virtual classes last spring, all student work will now be graded.
And students are being held accountable for the work that they're submitting.
Portsmouth Public Schools will be entirely online, at least for the first 9 weeks. And the division will provide internet access and devices to those students who don't already have them. In Portsmouth, Virginia, Chris Horne reporting.
All week we're bringing you stories as part of this project here on KXAN, like a group of teenagers virtually tutoring students across the world who need it most. That's tonight on KXAN News at 10. But first, join us online at 6:30 for a live chat on education equity. In-home daycare could soon see a spike as parents look for smaller, less risky options for our youngest learners. Just go to our Facebook page or KXAN.com. Online now, Pandemic Pass or Fail, Solutions for Education Equity, the digital investigative project. Check out our latest work, interactive data features, and a behind-the-scenes video about why we're tackling this topic. Explore stories from our team of journalists across the nation, by location or by topic, plus resources about the solutions we're discovering and ways you can join the conversation. It's all online now. Just search for Pandemic Pass or Fail on our homepage.